Now, to give some context as to where we're headed today, I'd like to invite one of our students up to talk a little bit about what our week was like. So, Aslan, come on up. And Hannah, do you want to join up here too and add some comments from you?
Hi guys, my name is Aslan, and I volunteered to talk in front of you guys today. So, as Tammy said, our sunflower seeds are out there growing. We planted those to plant seeds throughout the week, but also give the idea of growth, set goals, and just aspirations that we wanted to complete across the whole week. And then from there, we started going into the basic concepts of entrepreneurship, just the basic definition and just what it meant. And then we started splitting up into our more personal dynamics, like what kind of person are we in the business and entrepreneurship world. And Tammy taught us that there are 4 separate types of people: structure, action, people, and meaning. And a structured person is someone who wants to be organized, needs to know everything needs to know all the statistics and make sure everything's in place before they get started. You have your action person who just jumps right in. You have your people person who wants to know about everyone's needs, but also create a product that suits everyone's needs. And then the meaning person is like your big picture, like your big idea person that might struggle to come up with the steps to get there. That's why they usually team up best with someone like the structure person. So our groups today that we're pitching is what we identified as one person from each group, from each of those categories. From there, we started practicing creativity and teamwork, coming up with our first business ideas. Not necessarily what was going into this, but just getting our creative juices flowing. And then we moved on to some activities. We did the Blue Chair Challenge that Colby mentioned. It's a collaborative team, which is the same team that we're doing for these pitches, where you get a balloon and some tape and you have to create a chair, which is not easy. So, and then from there we did the what problem can you solve activity, which is we were given a customer base to make a product for, and we had to create an idea for that as well. And then we started learning about De Bono's 6-hat theory. I don't know if you guys are familiar. It's sort of like this tool that you can use to question your product or your business or your service, where, for example, the white hat is someone who's going to ask, who wants to know the facts and the statistics of your business. Why, like, what are the numbers? Like, if I invest in this company, what am I getting in return? Like, they want to know all those sorts of things. And then we had multiple guest speakers, great guest speakers. From example, Nathaniel Klein, Treeline Terrains. He started his business in Middlebury with a couple of friends, and he taught us his process and how he went from starting up this company with his friends to ending up actually selling his company for, I don't actually, we need to but expanding his business and coming up to eventually sell it. Then we did the snake tank activity, which is we were given a couple of cards where we had to come up with a product or service for a pet owner with random cards with random words. We had only 10 minutes to come up with the idea, and then we had to pitch it to judges, which were the RAs and some other guests that we had in that day. Then we started working on our business model canvas, which is we started coming up with our ideas for these pitches and putting them into the business model canvas, which is a way to really truly test if your business is actually ready for the market. Then we went on our field trip. Our field trip was great. We went to Generator. We went to Hula. There it is. And we went to Vermont Comedy Club. And we learned all about each of these businesses and how they affect the market in their area and just what kind of impact they're making. Then we started learning about the finances of business. So a lot of numbers. I know myself, I'm not a big numbers guy, but a lot of us, some people were excited about it. People like me, I was not excited about it. But we made it happen, and we came up. This is all in the process while we were making our pitches. So this led into our pricing forecasting for our actual pitches. And Then we had more guest speakers come in. We talked about personal finances, different ways to get money for your business, and we also talked about business law and how that plays a huge impact in entrepreneurship and what it's like to be a small business just starting out, with personal finances, separating those two things, and also law, and how your business, it's important to have a lawyer and all the legal stuff. And then we have our pitches, which you guys are here today for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aslan. So this has really been an amazing week with your special students, and we're just so appreciative to have everybody come out to see the pitches. This is my 5th year being involved with the Entrepreneurship Institute, and each year I just see leaps and bounds of the pitches improving with using AI and students understanding the business model canvas faster and faster, and just adding their own unique aspects to their presentations. It's really one of the highlights of my summer, and that's why I keep coming back. We're certainly an enthusiastic bunch, which made it challenging at times in the academic setting, but left us not lacking any ideation and not lacking any creativity, making it a really fun week. And seeing your ideas come to life and your students to explore their potential is really just so inspiring to me, and hopefully inspiring to each other. So I hope you stay in touch, and let's get into the pitches.
Thank you, Hannah. So did we plant a few seeds? Did we plant a few seeds? Oh my goodness, we did. They were very busy this week. As we start our program today, I would like to introduce our keynote address person, Mike Pieciak. So Mike, would you like to come up and get us started with some inspiration?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Pieciak. I'm the state treasurer here in Vermont, and I first just want to congratulate all the students, not just for accomplishing this week, but for taking time out of your summer and deciding that you wanted to do something to improve yourself, to learn outside of your comfort zone, to establish new relationships, to get new experience, and to do something to improve yourself when you could have been just hanging out enjoying the sun and the nice weather that we're having here in Vermont. So congratulations to all of you, and I know that that spirit in and by itself means that you're on a path to success. So congratulations. You know, when we think about entrepreneurship, I think oftentimes we think about, maybe Silicon Valley or Shark Tank, but I think about all of the small businesses that we have here in Vermont that make up our economy. And I think about my parents as well. I grew up in Brattleboro. My dad was a CPA that built a business from the ground up. He had an accounting firm that served the Brattleboro community and countless businesses and countless individuals. He built it to about 30 employees, and I watched my dad every day think about the payroll and think about the fact that he wouldn't necessarily be guaranteed a paycheck unless he was responsible for getting the clients and making sure the work got done and making sure everybody was doing their job and doing their responsibility. But it wasn't the fact that he ran a business or that he was forging his own way that really drew him to that passion of being an entrepreneur. It was the lives that he was changing through the businesses that he served and the ways that he could serve his community as well and improve his community and have the ability and the resources and the flexibility to be able to do that. And similarly, my mom, she would never have called herself an entrepreneur, but she started a soup kitchen about 40 years ago in Brattleboro called St. Bridget's Kitchen. She started it on St. Patrick's Day in 1982, and they served 12 sandwiches on their first day that they opened. But she saw a need in the community, she perceived a need, she saw that nobody else was doing anything about it, and she set out to try to solve the problem. And today they serve over 45,000 meals a year at St. Bridget's Kitchen, one of the largest soup kitchens in southern Vermont. So, very different. My dad started a business and my mom started a nonprofit, but I think they came at it from the same place. They saw a need in their community, they saw an unmet problem, and they didn't wait around for somebody else to solve it. They set out took a risk, solved the problem on their own. And at the heart of it, that's what entrepreneurialism is all about. That's what you are learning about this week, and that's what you're engaging in the pitches that you'll have today, and the businesses that you'll start tomorrow, and hopefully the ways that you'll live your lives throughout your professional career. You won't sit back and wait for somebody else to solve a problem. You'll jump in and try to figure it out. And I think that's the lesson I hope that you've taken away this week, and the lesson that you'll think about after you leave this week. That those entrepreneurs, those people, not just entrepreneurs, but people that change the world aren't the smartest people in the room. They're not always the most successful or the wealthiest or have the most resources, but they are the people that see a problem and take the risk to solve it. Taking that risk is the thing that's so critical as an entrepreneur, and something that I hope you won't be afraid to do, no matter what course of profession you decide to take as you go on to school and graduate. Now, there are two lessons I wanted to mention. One is that risk piece, which leads to the issue of failure. You know, I was thinking about it on the drive over here, but in my own life, I've never learned a single thing from succeeding at something. It was only in failure, it was only in adversity that I learned anything worthwhile to implement in my own life and change my own course of events. It's in that failure that you learn how to do things differently. It's in that failure you learn about your own resiliency and your own strength. And it's in that failure that you come back better and stronger at the next attempt. So when you think about risk, when you think about failure, I want you to really think about it as a win-win situation. If you take on something that's risky, something that you want to try to change, a new business, a new organization, try to solve a problem, you'll either be successful at doing it, and that is its own win, or you'll fail, but in the failure, you will have an opportunity to learn so much more about yourselves, about what you're made of, and be able to come back the second time and do it much better and more successfully. So either way, it's a win. The second thing I just want to mention, and you'll probably already know this at your age or have a sense of it, but as an entrepreneur, as a politician, as a business person, no matter what your profession, it's not your idea that's the most important thing. It's not your business plan. It's not your financing plan. It's the relationships that you have in your life. Your relationships are the most important thing that will determine whether you are successful or not. That is all the more true here in Vermont, where relationships are really the currency that I think our whole economy and our whole society trades on. But those relationships, mentorships, friendships, relationships in networking, in business, oftentimes it's the people that you most casually know that will end up helping you in the biggest ways. Oftentimes when people get a job interview or land a job, it's not from their best friend who told them, hey, I have this job opening, you need to apply. Or I know the person that is, my best friend is the hiring manager. It's the people that you so casually meet one time at an event, or grab coffee with, or sat next to in class, that end up helping you out in ways that you can't even imagine. So networking, relationship building, and preserving those relationships, and making sure they are truly relationships and not transactional relationships, that you're building something that goes both ways and that will last your entire professional career and your lifetime. So I want you to take those lessons away from the talk today. Don't be afraid to fail. Always invest in those relationships. And with the theme of today, I hope 20 years from now, all of those seeds that you've planted outside, all of the seeds that have been planted in this room, that many of you have started successful businesses here in Vermont, that they are successful not just because you're earning a paycheck and earning financial success, but that they're successful because you've reinvested in your community, you've considered the environmental impact as you build your business, you've considered the impact on your neighbors and the ways that you can support everybody that relies on you, whether it's your family, your friends, your neighbors, and you're successful in all of those ways that really are fundamentally more important and much harder to measure. But I encourage you again to be brave in pursuing your goals, to be bold, and the final pitch is here in Vermont, I think there is a lot of opportunity for young people that are approaching their career. Vermont is at the pinnacle of a lot of retirements in our state. We need a lot of young people to stay here and to come into Vermont to build the economy in the future that we need. It is a challenge, but for your generation, it really is an opportunity to take a lot of experience and to put it at play really, really quickly. So I encourage you to think about that. I encourage you to think about how you can change the trajectory of our state, how you can do that together, not just through your business, but by doing good in your communities as well. So good luck today. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to this.
Thank you so much, Mike. And I think our Vermont State Treasurer being here speaks to the climate of Vermont and the kind of level of support and commitment that we have here. So we want to take advantage of that. Yes, young people? Yes? Yes, Tammy? Okay, good. So just to set the context before we introduce the judges, and Matt has a few announcements as well, the pitches you're going to hear today, we gave them a customer segment. So all of the pitches you hear today, the students were planning a business on how they could solve a problem for a middle, high school, college-age Vermont student, and it had to have a social responsibility component to it, because that's the Vermont way, and it could not be solely an app. So the things that they've been building this week have met those criteria, and that's why you're going to see that theme. Matt, would you like to share your piece before we introduce the judges?
Sure. So we have these wonderful judges, and we're going to get to meet them in a second, and then the pitches. But I have a job for all of you, parents, friends, family, students, honor system. You're not allowed to do this part. But if you're a parent, and if you have a device with you, please take it out and scan that QR code, or you can type it in. So our judges will be choosing a team that stands out for an exceptional prize. There's actually going to be a prize, we're really recognizing them as our winners. However, there are many ways students can win. And so if you go tinyurl.com/GIV entree, oh, no students, no students. If you go to that, you should see a form open up. While these pitches are happening, take notes. Maybe open up your notes app, like, try not to be on your device too much, but open up your notes app and take a note of like, oh, I really love what that team did. And you can see the different categories. And at the end, vote for your favorite team in these categories. If any team wins in multiple categories, so if different teams win each one, that's wonderful. That means all of our teams brought in different things. If there is a team that rises above and wins in multiple categories, then that team wins a prize of anything from our GIV store. We're going to email you. There's a lot of cool stuff. You pick whatever you would like, every member of the team. Make sense? But parents, let me know if you have problems opening it, and I'd wait until the end to vote so you can see all the different pitches, but take notes along the way, and remember they're listed in the order that they will present. So if you forget the name, you're like, ooh, I love number 2. That's the one to do. Everyone got it? Yeah! Oh, also, thanks for doing the yearbook last night, gang. There's 1 or 2 of you who maybe didn't get it done yet, and I'll come find you before the day's out. Please do that. Your yearbook, as well as your GIV completion certificate, is going to come in the mail in a few weeks. So let us know if you're moving or changing your mailing address, just so we can make sure that gets to you. Also, just from GIV, you'll hear more from HQ later, but thank you for doing this. It's been an absolute honor hanging out with you all this week, getting to meet a lot of you, and I can't wait to see your pitches. Thanks, gang.
So what do you think? Are we ready? All right. So before we get started, I would like the judges to take a moment to introduce themselves. We're very lucky to have 6 judges here today. So thank them. And then who they are.
Hello everyone, my name is Miyako Ozeki and I'm the co-founder of Vermont Womenpreneurs, which is a third space community network for women business owners across the state. Our mission is to convene, connect, foster collaborations, and celebrate the wins and stories of women business owners across the state. We started in 2018, and I've seen everyone from all the stages of entrepreneur to selling their businesses, and it's a wonderful journey, so congratulations.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen McCall. I'm the creator of a product called Compliment Coins that I sell throughout stores in Vermont. They are wholesome little gift coins that are made to help connect people with each other, and I'm really happy to be here.
Hello everyone, I'm Rhonda Burns and I'm with the Vermont Small Business Development Center, which is a no-fee business advising group that helps businesses get started. So if you're in the beginning stages, a lot of your entrepreneurs here today, I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of years or sooner. Or people that have started their business and need some additional assistance and help growing their business, thriving in their business, and then exiting when it's time. So thank you. Looking forward to being here today.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean Sweeney. I grew up in Montpelier. I live in Shelburne now. I've had a couple of businesses in Vermont. I now run Sweeney Design Build, which is down in Shelburne. And I'm also the representative from Shelburne and represent half of that town in the town of St. George. And I'm really psyched to be here with the parents and the kids, so looking forward to it.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming out on Saturday to do this. My name is Russ Scully. I've been in Burlington for the last 30 years. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started a number of different businesses, companies in Burlington. Most notably, the exciting one is this startup incubator called Hula, which a lot of you sounds like got to visit on Wednesday, so I'm really happy to hear that everyone got a chance to tour the building. Hula is a startup technology campus focused on growing jobs in Vermont. And as Treasurer Pieciak pointed out, it's really important to us that students get into that building, primarily so they understand what opportunities exist in Vermont for them when they're ready to launch a company, join a company, finish school, and figure out their next move in their life. So thank you for being here, excited to see the pitches and be part of the judging program. Thank you.
Let the games begin.
Thank you. Okay, so Tammy's got to put her glasses on, and we'll get ready to go. To start off, I'd like to introduce 4 young entrepreneurs from CUE who share one mission: helping people overcome the fear of public speaking. Through innovative, haptic wearable technology, CUE empowers speakers with discreet, real-time guidance, building confidence, reducing anxiety, and allowing them to focus on delivering their message, not their nerves. CUE is seeking qualified and experienced investors to kickstart their journey. So judges, if you could take on the role of investor.
Hi everyone, I'm Ginger Berg. I'm the head of human resources, and I am in charge of managing team dynamics, resolving conflict, and making sure the team is working well.
Hi, my name is Ella Kitts. I'm the marketing advisor. I do everything with our social media pages and the marketing.
Hello, my name is Rex Wise. I'm the technological director, and I make sure the product syncs flawlessly with the app.
I'm Malcolm Pierce. I'm the shipping manager, and I make sure everyone gets the product they order.
The problem. Millions of students experience anxiety when speaking in a public setting. This anxiety creates nervousness, shaking, forgetting what to say, and a lack of confidence, which negatively affects academic performance.
The solution is CUE. CUE is a unique piece of wearable technology that helps with public speaking. It acts as almost a metronome for the user. EFT tapping technology is when you tap your fingertips on different parts of your body, your knees, temple, wrist, and it helps calm nerves and anxiety. It has proven research behind it to show its outcomes.
At Q, we're deeply considerate about sustainability. Therefore, our bands are made from 100% recycled plastics. The haptic sensors we use are refurbished from old iPhones and Android devices. Our packaging is 100% compostable cardboard with 0 plastics. And of course, it's made in the USA, so that reduces carbon emissions significantly.
This is Alex. He is a freshman at the University of Vermont. He has class presentations every week, and he dreads them. His heart begins to race, his hands begin to shake, and he goes blank mid-sentence. I know the material. I just freeze the second I feel dozens of eyes on me. Alex is a neurodivergent student who struggles with social anxiety. But Alex doesn't need to struggle in those moments alone. Instead, he can rely on the Q for support. The Q provides calming vibrations inspired by EFT tapping, helping Alex to feel more calm and focused while speaking. With confidence, Alex is able to participate in class and present with less stress.
On the market, current wearables are not designed for public speaking, so we do not have many competitors. You may think Apollo Neuro or Whoop, which is like the Fitbit, could be our competitors, but they're really not, as they just are for stress and sleep and do not have to help with live speech. And you're like maybe my Apple Watch, but your Apple Watch cannot do direct EFT tapping, and it also has a screen with notifications, which can be very distracting. On the marketing side of things, we are partnering with university counseling centers, and we have multiple social media pages on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We will also be doing back to school and graduation bundles, which is the perfect key for confidence.
We'll need an initial investment of $19,000 to cover all of our startup costs in the first 100 units. After that, it'll be $22 a unit.
Q has 3 main revenue streams. The first is our hardware sales. We sell individual Qs on our website for $89 a piece, flat price, free shipping. Our second revenue stream is B2B sales. We sell in bulk hardware and licensing to universities, high schools, and even corporate teams. Lastly, we have a monthly app subscription. For $9 a month, you get audio recordings and advanced AI analysis. The opportunities for Q are endless. Investors, Q is not a gimmick, it's the future. We are seeking $41,000. In exchange, we will pay back $4 per unit sold until the initial $41,000 is returned, and then $1 per sale for the next 10,000 sales. Investors, let's make a deal.
Questions? Anyone wants a question?
I wish I could have bought that product before I spoke.
Sam.
So, I mean, I guess one question I have when I was looking at those potential competitors and like then your price per unit that you're selling, it seems like maybe you're going to be more competitive on price. Like you're going to be a lot cheaper than some of those alternatives as well. So you're going to be, not only are you delivering a better product, but maybe at a lower price point.
Yeah, definitely. Our product does, less than the other technology. It doesn't have, a 40 millimeter screen. It doesn't have buttons really at all. And it really just does what it's supposed to.
Nice job. What stops those bigger companies from, swooping in and taking your idea?
We're there first, and our technology is really advanced. We have really good customer service, and the other companies don't do it like we would.
Since this is kind of a newish product, what would you imagine in terms of like an influencer campaign to demonstrate this?
So those first 100 units were a lot more expensive because of tooling and machining costs, but we plan not to sell those first 100 units, but to actually send them out to companies, universities, high schools for those products to get tested, and so that's why that initial research and development was so expensive.
Could you just describe the tapping? How does that actually work for the person who's needing the assistance here?
Yeah, so EFT tapping is something that people actually pay professionals to do a lot. So it can also be self-administered, and it's as simple as tapping on your wrist, your neck, your temple. And the Q does that with a haptic sensor inside of it. We recycle them from old Apple and Android products, and it makes almost a vibration. Nothing that makes noise, nothing that hurts you, nothing like, you know, a phone buzzing in your pocket, but it's subtle enough to keep a rhythm like a metronome.
I'm searching for a question here. This is really a great concept. It's a great product. It's a great idea. I think the mode question was a good one. You know, understanding who the competitors are going to be. You guys have maybe first mover advantage, right? Because maybe no one else has come up with this. Being well capitalized can be important because somebody can come in and immediately grab this idea if they have more money and just leapfrog you, right? What do you see as sort of the next move once if this is wildly successful? What do you see as an add-on sale or add-on opportunity that you can market to all the customers that are already using Q?
Yeah, so we've looked into partnerships with companies like Meta. So the Meta glasses would be a really awesome pairing with Q. The camera on the front and also the audio feedback that it gives you. So that way Q wouldn't only have a microphone, it would have a camera and it would be able to give you live feedback when you're not speaking.
We'll give the judges a moment to fill out their forms. Our next team has developed a business that tackles two important challenges at once: making youth sports more affordable while reducing waste. By collecting, refurbishing, and redistributing used sports equipment, they've created a solution that benefits young athletes, families, and the environment. Please join me in welcoming Rebound Sports as they share their innovative idea to keep kids on the field. And judges, please take on the role of investor.
Hello, thank you all for coming. So, let's meet the team.
My name is Oliver Van Veer. I am from Springfield High School, going into my senior year.
My name is Angela Lambert. I'm a rising senior at BFU St. Albans.
I'm Elizabeth Keenan, and I'm a 10th grader at North Country.
I'm Alexis Gunther, and I'm also a 10th grader at North Country.
Okay, well, let's meet Jacob. Jacob is a 14-year-old boy who lives in a low-income household. He's really interested in soccer, but unfortunately cannot buy the equipment. Now let's meet George. George is 19 and is heading into college. He used to play soccer, but now he doesn't play anymore because he wants to focus on his studies, but he's not sure where he should put his equipment. And finally, let's meet Tammy, George's mom. Like many parents, she also has a pile of sports equipment and she's unsure what to do with it, but she doesn't want to add it to a landfill because that's bad for our environment. Who of you are like Tammy, who just have like a pile of unused sports equipment? Well, that's where our business comes in need.
So the problem we're trying to solve is many students going into high school and college are moving upward with sports and academics, and most of the time have to make a choice whether they want to pursue one or the other. Or they might just not make the team at all. and they're forced to leave behind this equipment and have just no space for it, nobody to give it to. So our solution to this is by giving them a place to donate this equipment for a small sum of money, and our part would be refurbishing it and then giving it to other families in need of it for a much more affordable price than large sporting goods stores and large corporations.
Our business collects used sports equipment, refurbishes it, and then we'll either rent it out for students to try sports because that can get expensive if you just want to try it, and we'll also donate the things that are a bit more worn, and for the most part we will be selling for a small cost to make everything affordable and avoid waste. Our website connects us with our customers. You can use it to shop online, figure out where to donate, and also find pop-up locations for in-person events. And we also do small repairs like helmet cleaning, skate sharpening, and other things.
Market opportunities. So the way that we show about our business is through our website and the pop-ups that will happen in schools. But another way we have it is also on social media. We also try to connect with schools, specifically administrators, coaching staff, and travel ball teams. And a question you might be wondering is how are we different from other industries who make equipment? Well, we really try to make it our goal to donate this equipment and make it so other people can try to play the sport that they really want to play.
We have 3 tiers of products. The first tier is the highest quality and the highest price. The second tier is slightly lower for the quality and the price. The last tier is the most used and the lowest price.
So our final ask, we have done a few calculations, and what we come up with, our initial cost for starting up the company would be about $10,100. Our projected revenue that we predicted to earn over our 6-month period would come around to about $10,800. So we'd be earning about $700, if not more, in net income. And what we calculated was this would be the amount that we would need for funds for starting this up. So our final ask is $7,500 in starting up fund, sponsorship, or grant support to launch our first website-based pilot. Thank you.
Question? I'll give it to you and you can pass it down if you need. Questions for this group?
So could you just describe a little bit about how you reach out? I know you're looking at doing a website, but do you have a specific audience that you're trying to reach?
Yeah, so our specific audience are people who are exiting high school or going into college or even graduating college, because I feel like that's also a time where you think if you want to commit to your studies or if you really want to try to go play a sport in college, because depending on the school you go to, some colleges are really competitive and you might not make the team.
Yeah, so great, there's definitely kids who need this. I'm just wondering, I guess, where is it all gonna go? How are people gonna drop stuff off or send it, and then where is that spot? And then who's managing that spot to send it to where it needs to go?
So in the beginning, we're gonna start with a website, and at first, what we're gonna do is just drive ourselves to this person's location, pick up their equipment, refurbish it, or drop off equipment that they're in need of. They can access the equipment and look at it over our website whenever they'd like. But a long-term goal would be over, say, a couple of years, we would invest into a smaller building, per se.
I'd also like to add, during the pop-up is when they could drop off their equipment, and those pop-ups would be at the schools in the parking lot.
And so that's also a way that if we had the equipment ready, they can pick it up from those. And that's where we would post on our website where those pop-ups would be and when they would be.
Yeah, great job, you guys. I think this is a really nice idea because it does put a lot more sports equipment in the hands of people who otherwise wouldn't be able to use it. So commend you on that. I'm familiar with this space because we actually built one of these at Windy Waves for the same purpose, right? And we targeted water sports equipment. We did it online, and we did it peer-to-peer. Because Sean's question is a good question. The thing that you're going to run into trouble with, I think, is just holding all this inventory. There's also a lot of trafficking of just moving products back and forth. There's also just exposure, like making sure customers can see this stuff and know what's available and ask questions. So the way we approached it was we built the website so that people could upload the stuff that they wanted to sell. And then ultimately, anyone who's going there is seeing what's for sale and they're interacting with sellers. So that we're kind of out of the equation. But we provide, essentially we defraud the whole thing. So by handling the money on our side, we basically make sure that nobody's getting a raw deal out of it. We guard that part of the equation. So anyway, inventory would be tough, I agree, and I think storage would be tough, and then and also the other thing that's tricky is just making sure you don't end up with a lot of people's unwanted things, right? The restoration of the stuff could be overwhelming in terms of the labor and time involved in repairing stuff and getting it ready, but yeah, otherwise I think it's a really novel idea, and it's certainly going to put a lot more equipment in the hands of kids who can use it, so thank you.
Any other questions for this team, or are we good? We're good? Okay, awesome, thank you. Okay, we're going to go to the next team. Get ready for a team that's rethinking the future of career exploration. Every year, students invest thousands of dollars in college before knowing if they are on the right path. This team is changing that. With a bold idea that helps students discover their passions through real-world internships before college, they're giving the next generation the confidence to choose their future. Please give a huge round of applause for FieldFound. Judges, please take on the role of investor and business owners. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody. everybody. We are FieldFound. Choosing a college major is one of the biggest financial decisions of a student's life. And yet, many choose without actually knowing what career they're getting into or if they're even going to enjoy it. Our mission is simple. We want to help Vermont students find their field before they fund their future.
Hi everyone, I'm Quinn Steller. I'm one of the CEOs and I oversee project management.
Hello everybody, I'm Livia Jatlow-Carter. I'm also a co-CEO and I oversee business connections.
Hey guys, my name is Seamus Bald. I'm the Chief Financial Officer and I oversee logistics and budgeting.
My name is Ruby Levinson. I'm the CMO and I'm in charge of marketing and student recruitment. Thousands of students go to college unsure about what they want to study and pursue. If Vermont students entered college knowing their major and could begin earning credits in their first year, they could save $165 million of debt and graduate in just 3 years. Many choose majors based on limited exposure, only to realize it's not what they expected and they do not want to do it anymore. We believe students deserve the opportunity to test careers before making one of the biggest investments of their lives. Vermont is the perfect place to launch this idea. Every year, thousands of Vermonters go to school undecided. Our first year only serves 90 students, capturing a small percentage of that market. Making our launch realistic while also leaving room for growth. Our solution is a 3-week institute where high schoolers going into their junior and senior year have the opportunity to apply to a rolling application with a fee of $50. If they get in, they will attend a variety of businesses exploring different careers. In week 1, students will rotate through different industries and shadow professionals. During weeks 2 and 3, they will complete a mini internship with the career they are most interested in.
The businesses we plan to partner with are UVM Medical Center, Beta Technologies, Morgan Stanley, Timberlane Dental, and Heartworks Early Education. Finally, to culminate, students present what they've learned and leave with real work experience, stronger confidence, and a much more clear direction before entering college.
We'll reach students through the people they already trust the most, as in guidance counselors, parents, local schools, universities, and business partners. We will also use social media featuring real student experiences. Our goal is simple. Make FieldFound the first place students think of when they're finding their major.
Our model keeps the program accessible. Families pay tuition, but businesses, schools, colleges, and grants help cover scholarships and transportation. Businesses gain future talent, schools improve college readiness, and students receive opportunities they otherwise might not have.
Our financial projections about around 3 camps serving 90 students. Tuition for the camps cover our core operating costs, while investors and sponsorships expand across other expenses like transportation, as you can see up here. This gives us an estimated profit of over $60,000 our first year, which creates a sustainable model and with a lot of room to grow. We are asking for $70,000 in launch funding for FieldFound. We're also looking for introductions to Vermont businesses willing to host students and partner with us. The investment would help out with startup costs like secure housing, safety systems, and marketing. These are all necessary to get our program started, which is, it's a big amount, so we need a lot of money to get a program started. But once we get started, we can cover all future expenses with the profit we make in the coming years.
Thank you for listening. We believe that every high school student deserves the chance to explore a career before spending thousands of dollars on college. With your support, we can help students make smarter decisions, gain real-world experience, and have more confidence going into their future. We want Vermont students to find their field before they fund their future. Thank you, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Excellent idea. I think the first thing you need to do is don't let the treasurer leave this building without getting him to help you out. That's right up his alley.
Great idea, thank you.
But I am going to ask you a financial, it's so, I grew up in a family that didn't have a whole lot of money. I'm much older than you, so it was cheaper when I went to school. But $3,500, per student is a sizable amount of money. Do you have any, I know it was kind of quick, but are you thinking about offering, get me into the details of scholarships and how you're going to get some other funding?
Exactly. So our sponsorships are coming from a part of our investment and part of our profit. So part of our profits going back to the students who can't necessarily afford the $3,500 fee. So that's how we would be supporting students going into college, even if they don't have that $3,500 that they're willing to spare.
Just a small addition, we're also going to constitute something similar to Governor's Institute, where there's a sliding scale. So yeah, tuition will probably be based off of what your parents are making, income, sort of like what you can afford, and then the rest will be covered.
That's great, thanks so much.
So I'm going to call the kind of the things in the shadows that we know right now AI is having an impact on careers and everything else. And things that you're listing are in the now, I think of in the now future. So how would you address the fact that how would you address that your program could probably figure into skills and experience development versus an industry that may not be here in 5 years?
Could you repeat that last part?
So what I mean is, so AI is kind of one of the things that is kind of impact your generation, and so thinking ahead of some of these industries, they are necessary, but some of them are for today, but they're not for tomorrow. So how would you help young people right now to address that kind of particular issue out there?
Yeah, so I think our main focus is definitely going to be highlighting the passions and the different career options that are being offered at these schools that they are hoping to attend. And I think that with some of the places that we mentioned, like Champlain Dental or the UVM Medical Center, that there's a lot of different professions within those industries and those businesses. And I think that it's definitely something that, not like we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but more like for the time in the day, we're gonna kind of see where we're at in those industries, with AI, yeah, that sort of thing.
I also want to say that not a lot, but some professions are definitely, will definitely not be able to be taken over by AI. I don't think early education is really a career that AI will be able to cover and take over. And I don't know, I don't think anybody here would want AI teaching their kids when they're toddlers. But.
All right.
I love the question, thank you. First, I just want to say I really like your tagline, find their field before they fund their future. All those F's are very satisfying. I guess my question is, did you guys talk about the pros and cons of having housing people for this camp for 3 weeks? I know you did that here, but what were the pros and cons about making that decision, and why did you land on providing housing, around the clock for the people who are involved?
I mean, I think it definitely builds community, and I think we want our program to feel sort of like this, a nice community where you're meeting people, you're kind of discovering more things than just your passion and your career. We don't want it to just feel like you're going there to figuring out what you're going to be doing in college, kind of alleviating a little bit of stress and just adding to this bigger community that we're building. I also think that housing people at UVM is going to be sort of incentive for them to want to have us, because maybe they'll go there and really enjoy the campus, want to go there. So yeah, I think that's where we came from with the housing.
Great, thank you.
introduction, guys. So, great concept. Giving, I get it, right? Allow students to understand a little bit more what they want to study before they get there. So what happens if they go into a 3-week camp and they realize they don't want to be working at Beta Technologies? Where do they go from there? Do they come back through? Right, like how many, can you get multiple experiences? The other thing I would just say is, I think it'd be really nice to flip it the other way initially. Like you could have the companies come to the schools, do a little introduction about what they're all about, kinds of people they're looking for, the types of coursework that they need to work on in order to apply or fill in different positions at different companies. And so at least some of the students are warmed up a little bit in terms of what each company is expecting, and then they have a little bit better likelihood of landing where they want to land. So yeah, maybe if you can talk about those 2 things.
Yeah, I love that idea. So the first week of the program is fully like going to different companies and businesses and trying their internship at like a few different places. So I think we were hoping that through that experience they would be like, oh, I'm sort of liking this one, and then they would spend their next 2 weeks there. And that was like our original idea, was like after going through a few businesses, they'd be like, okay, this is something that I'd be interested in. Then they'd really dive in and get like the deeper immersed experience in the last 2 weeks. And I think that even if they might not end up being like, this is the place for me, that maybe they'll learn more about themselves and their passions through that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we were also aiming for the companies that had like very broad, like, I don't know, like what people do a lot, like healthcare, early education, like those are like pretty broad categories. And even if that sparks some interest, you have more direction of like where you want to go, not necessarily maybe to that country or company, but yeah, just like into that sort of field. Like if you can hit some of the things that you like, and you're like, well, I thought this was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. It's more direction for the student to be like, yeah, I want to go in this direction. Great, thank you.
This next team is solving one of the biggest problems that athletes face today. They are implementing the newest technology to keep athletes safer while creating a better playing experience. They've spent this week putting their product to the test, challenging each other's ideas, and bringing a new product into the sports world. Today, they're ready to convince you that this idea will revolutionize the sports scene. Please give a warm welcome to CleatSheild. Judges, please take on the role of investor.
Good afternoon, welcome to CleatSheild. I'm Sam Gallivan, and I'm the CEO and Head of Product Development.
I'm Becca Mann, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
I'm Daniel Donza, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
So during rainy games, many athletes face an issue of getting mud buildup on their cleats and losing lots of traction, which can cause injury. This is a customer example of Jake, who got mud buildup on his cleat, and which caused him to slip and fall and tear his ACL. We interviewed 26 different athletes for their opinions on a reusable solution for muddy cleats. Out of the 26 people, 77% that muddy cleats are a recurring problem, 65 were interested in the reusable solution, and 89% said that keeping mud out of their cars and sports bags is important. CleatSheild is a reusable thermoplastic shield that is custom molded to the sole of the athlete's cleat, providing a removable barrier that helps prevent mud buildup while remaining reusable throughout the season. It also is a way to keep sports bags and cars clean by giving a fast and easy way to remove mud off the bottom of athletes' cleats before storing them.
All right, so for our business model, we have a couple revenue streams, including individual sales through our website, wholesales through partnered stores, and then we're also going to sell in bulk to schools. We also will partner with teams and other sports programs. For our scaling, we plan to test the product in places like public schools, local teams, make sure it works, and then eventually move on to bigger markets and mass distributors. Some key partners we have are our thermoplastic distributor, our sports equipment stores like Dick's Sporting Goods and Decathlon and Intersport. We also partner with club sport organizations and sponsor teams. We plan to maintain good customer relationships through team discounts, like when the team buys something they get either a % off or something for free, and then also through athlete ambassadors who represent us. We'll also maintain good connections through social media with our customers. Our social mission will be to donate to youth sports programs.
For our marketing, we will mostly be on social media like TikTok and Instagram and post how-to videos like how to use it, how to put it on, how to take it off, how to clean it. But we will also be partnering with local teams and local club teams to get, better known in Vermont. And we will also be giving out team discounts to encourage group purchases.
So some of our financial projections, we have a startup cost about $3,000, with our prototype materials being about $300, the website about $200, and then the initial inventory about $2,500. For our pricing, we plan to sell for about $24.99 per product, and then it costs us about $5 to manufacture, so that's about a $20 profit. For our year one projections, we hope to sell about 500 products, leading to a revenue of about $12,495. We also have the cost of goods, which would be about $2,500, and then also a $500 operating expense cost. This leads us to an estimated profit of about $9,495 for the first year.
Now our ask. Our ask is to help connect us with local manufacturers to produce the highest quality thermoplastics. Our second ask is to help us connect with local high schools and coaches and athletic directors. And a $3,000 funding to launch our company off the ground. And our goal is to get CleatSheild into the bigger markets and for athletes to love it.
Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to open up the floor to questions from the judges.
So in the 48 hours you had to come up with this idea, walk me through the process of prototyping, like from the concept, from the problem set to then basically this idea of creating this shield.
Right, for sure. So I thought of an issue that we all play sports, so we've all come across this issue. And I did some research in what kind of materials might be feasible for this. So we came up with thermoplastics, which are similar to mouth guards, in which you can boil them in water to custom mold them to your teeth. So it's just like that, but molding them to your cleat. And so for that, we just put up some prototype models, kind of trying to figure out what it might look like, what the cost might be. We did some research into that, and that kind of brought us here.
Also, we know that injuries is a huge problem for athletes right now, especially just before playing in college, and especially in wet and rainy conditions. This product really helps to try to not totally eliminate, but help with those ACL tears and other type of injuries like that.
question. Did you do any market research to see if there's anything, maybe I missed this slide and I'm sorry if I did, to see if there's any competitor out there and how that would be different from what you're...
Yeah, so there's no direct competitor to our product. The closest things that there are on the market are like little brushes that you can use or a stomp pad to get the mud off. And both of those don't 100% get the mud off your cleat. And they also take time. Like the whole design of our product is that you can take it off in the middle of the game. It takes about 30 seconds, scrape the mud off, and then put it right back on. With these other products, you might have to come off the field. You can't take a brush on the field with you. You have to come off the field, stomp your cleats off, and go back on. So it's just a lot faster and quicker option for like fast gameplay and just keeping that competitive level that most athletes want.
Thank you.
That was sort of my question, was like, is it something that helps you during the game, or is it like after the game, or does it prevent the mud from building up in the first place? But it sounds like it's something that's easily removable, and like, so I presume it adheres to the cleat though, like in a way that will stay on and not fall off accidentally during the game.
Yeah, so just like a mouth guard, it will mold to around your cleat studs and then up around the lip of the sole of your cleat. And during the middle of the game, you can just peel it off and fold and twist your cleat shield to get the mud to fall off, and then just pop it right back on. It'll take around 30 seconds and just save a lot of time.
Yeah, great idea, guys. This sounds really novel. Obviously, there's no performance degradation or issues with the cleats being able to still give you traction when this thing is in place. So it's thin enough, I guess, if there's still cleats that get through there and give you enough traction and turf that makes it work.
Yeah, so it is just a very light material, and when you are doing the molding process, so we'll have how-to videos on how to do this, and during the molding process, the actual studs of the cleats will make imprints and poke through the thermoplastics, so you'll only have it on the base and of your cleat to take them off. So no like studs of the cleats will be covered, affecting performance.
Great. And most of these athletes have one pair of cleats, is that right? So you're going to sell one pair of these cleat shields to each athlete?
Yes, it comes in pairs.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. All right, well, great job, guys.
There are students in this country who work harder than anyone in their class and still miss a shot at college. Not because they weren't good enough, because nobody told them when to apply, what to submit, or where to even start. That information isn't secret. It's only available to students whose family is willing to pay. OnTrack is here to change that. Please welcome the team from OnTrack. Judges, please take the role of the tester.
Every year, millions of high school students sit down to figure out the college admissions process, and most of them do it completely alone. The deadlines, the essay, financial aid, finding the right fit schools, it's a maze that's easy to navigate if you have a counselor or the money to hire help. But most students don't. We built On Track to change that. We're giving every student, regardless of their background, a clear, personalized roadmap through the college admissions process, step by step, start to finish.
My name is Annette Hassa.
I'm Rosalie Lex-Judas.
I'm Aviana Centeno.
I'm Theo Morse, and we are the founders of On Track.
The average cost of college counseling is $6,000 per person. 44% of students report feeling completely lost in the process of applying to college. 72% of students that come from low-income families never apply to a single reach school. This process is expensive and not equally accessible to students such as first-generation Americans or low-income families. The available resources miss personalization, and students often don't know where to start.
Meet Alexa. She is a 17-year-old high school student from Vermont. She knows she wants to go to college, but she doesn't know where to begin. At school, Alexa has access to only one counselor who supports hundreds of students, making it difficult to get personalized guidance.
Alexa is not alone. This is a common experience for students across the U.S. That's why we are striving to solve this problem that so many students face by creating an app designed to make the college applications process as straightforward as possible. On Track provides direct, centralized information and resources for students to access throughout their journey to college. Each student is provided a personalized checklist designed to lead them step by step along their path to success. Additionally, we will offer tailored planners for maximum guidance and organization. We will partner with local businesses to present students with relevant volunteering and interning opportunities in their area.
We will be getting our money in various different ways depending on who is buying it. If a school wants to purchase our product, it'll be in between $3,000 to $5,000 a year for the entire school to use it to its entirety. Same thing, but $10 a month for one person to do it. 5% of all of our money will go straight to the On Track Scholarship Fund, and we are hoping to get government funding as well. We will promote our product to each and every school as possible until it becomes a norm that the schools have this product. So as many schools can have their students learn and grow as intended.
The app is designed to be very easy and simple to use. You will first sign up using a personal or school email account. This process can begin as early as freshman year. You will then choose what you need by browsing and selecting resources or goals that fit your needs. You will then have access to the platform and be able to figure out your next steps. The tracking feature will monitor your progress. You will be able to receive updates, and you'll be able to contact support whenever needed.
We are asking for $75,000 in startup funding to launch and grow On Track and change the lives of high school students across Vermont. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
Okay, first I have a question. What's the existing software that counselors use now? What's the name of that? Anybody? Isn't there something out there that kind of does this a little bit?
There is, but it lacks a lot of customization to the student, and it's more broad and catered toward just the application process. But we hope to kind of cater it to each student, hopefully their interests and what schools they want to go to.
Got it. And then in each of the high schools, so let's say 80% of the high schools buy it. What did that bring in financially? How many high schools are out there? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I just was wondering. Okay, it's all right. You know.
I got one.
Hey, who did the logo? The logo is great. Did you guys make that yourself?
Yeah.
Well done. Also, the graphics and everything, and the slide presentation is really nice, and even the graphics of the phone app was really well done. It looked really intuitive. Yeah, this is a big category. I think Sean's on the right track. I think this is the name of the company, On Track. You're already on track. You were really on track, weren't you? No, it's a big category. There's some other big category players out there, so differentiation would be the key. Like making sure you guys are designing some value in this product that's different than what's out there already currently. Like better results or whatever it may be. Application development is really expensive, but the rollout is relatively easy. The need is certainly there, and yeah, I think you guys are on track. You got something really great here. Congratulations.
That's a great presentation. Question I have is regarding the students. How do they know about you? Do you have an idea of how you're going to market directly to those that actually need you?
We are going to advertise on multiple social media accounts through mostly Instagram and TikTok to target the younger audience and people who would actually use this app.
Could you talk a little bit about the message that you would send to them? Like, what would it say?
It would say, like, if you want to go to this school, or if you don't understand what school wants what, or which one you want to go to, this app has everything that you need.
This team believes every big idea deserves a chance to grow. Their mission is to empower teens with knowledge, confidence, and resources they need to turn their ideas into successful businesses. The next generation of entrepreneurs starts here. Please welcome future founders. Congratulations, you're taking on the role of investor.
Welcome everyone, thank you guys for coming out here today. We are here to present our company, Future Founders. All right, my name is Matisse Duns. I'm the CEO. I'm in charge of running and overseeing everything inside the company.
Hi there, my name is Sutton Kemp. I'm the Chief Operations Officer. I oversee individuals to ensure day-to-day function.
Hi, I'm Sailor Samet. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and I oversee social media and marketing strategies.
Hi, I'm Julian Larson. I manage budgeting at Future Founders and I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
All right, today, many teens like us want to become entrepreneurs. We are so fortunate to be here at GIV selected out of 100 applicants, and many teens have great ideas about businesses, but they're unable to create a business. They don't know where to start, and sorry. They don't know where to start, so they wonder where. They don't know where to start, and they don't have the resources, the help, or the structure to get them started with the next step.
Okay, so our target audience will be high school to college age students. We created a customer persona to give us more of an idea of who it is and what they would want. So this is Danny. He's a high school student. Danny is looking for something that is easily accessible, has flexible learning hours, as well as something that is not school affiliated. So our solution is an online entrepreneurship course. We're going to walk you through the website while I tell you a bit more about it. So this course will be created by an entrepreneur themselves. Here are some successful business people and business owners. This course will be taught through videos over a 30-day period. This allows for a self-paced learning program. These are some of the topics that we'll be covering throughout. And then as you move through the website, you're able to look at our pricing, where to sign up, and then even at the end, we have questions that you might be wondering before you even sign up for the program.
Okay, like we were talking about, it's a very self-paced program. There's a lot of flexibility involved, and we have very successful entrepreneurs running these courses, making videos on a 30-day period. So, especially for high school and college students, going to sports, extracurricular activities, you can go home, do this on your own, sort of map out what you need to do, and sort of grow your entrepreneurship career. And what's different from us is we offer to sell the products online for these entrepreneurs to grow their products and put them out online and hopefully get some profits out of that.
Why you should invest. Our course promises immense profit within the first year of operating, and with low startup costs, it is a safe investment that promises to give you lots of return on your money.
Our marketing strategies focus on reaching students through Instagram, TikTok, and school partnerships. We will share business tips, success stories, and highlights of our course. By working with schools, businesses, teachers, and student-led organizations, we'll create a large, strong community of young entrepreneurs, and we will grow our customer base.
We are asking for $15,000 to fund a test program for this entrepreneurship career, and at discounted rates for the first 100 students. This is just to test the interest in the company, as well as provide insight and detail on where we can improve this company. Thank you very much, and now we have a question.
Great presentation, thank you. Can you talk a little bit about the program? You were talking about a 30-day self-paced, self-directed program, which is great. There are a lot more people who are looking for that these days. But talk about what would have somebody want to spend 30 days going through the program? What is the hook? And then maybe talk a little bit about what you're going to teach them. What are they going to learn when they're in there?
Yeah, so it's a bit like this program at GIV. So the 30-day program is there's one video per day that these students can watch, or they can watch multiple depending on how much time they have. And it's basically going through the steps on becoming an entrepreneur and building their business.
follow up on that in terms of like accountability of completing it. So I don't know if you, in this industry of like online courses, a lot of people love to sign up and then they don't finish it. So I think have you accounted for that part of it is that maybe some people are not going to complete your course?
We've thought about that, but our course is it's very engaging all throughout, and we sort of put it that way so that students stay with the program and are engaged. And the sort of final product is them having their products on our website to sell and hopefully grow and get some money.
Also, to add to that, for the trial run, that's also to see how much engagement we do have, to see how many kids actually complete the process, so that way we can adjust and make changes.
I have a quick question. Who do you imagine will make the content for the videos?
We are looking at a couple of investors sort of at GIV. We had Nathaniel come in from Treeline Terrain. He was like a good person that we could sort of reach out to have those videos, and like Russ from Hula as well, that'd be very interested in you sort of making videos, because you're a very successful entrepreneur, and we'd love to have you make videos and help young entrepreneurs in Vermont.
Well done. Good pitch.
One question. So how many customers do you anticipate you'll be able to see or realize in the first 6 months?
Yeah, so we hope with our test program, we're reaching out to all kids in Vermont. It's the first 100 to sign up, and we hope to eventually grow that to 200 new incoming customers a month. And along with that, we hope to expand our programs, get some more videos online, some more in-depth, also some live one-on-one chats eventually.
Great, and do you have thoughts on building that network of other successful entrepreneurs that will help sort of share their stories?
Yeah, so we're hoping to reach out to multiple businesses, have them maybe like a convention or something where we all come together and you can learn more from different businesses. We also have the option where you can choose to share your information with others taking the course to build your own network, maybe collaborate with different people and expand and work up yourself.
Great, thank you.
And I know you're upset because you think you dropped the ball a little bit up there, but don't beat yourself up, because that's what this is about. And I'm still screwing up down at the State House when I get out there. So let me tell you something. Don't worry about that. We're not judging you on that, okay? And yeah, I mess up at the State House a lot.
Introducing Team YIPP. YIPP plans to bridge the gap between youth and local, state, and federal government through a comprehensive solution that is scalable, effective, and efficient. YIPP separates themselves by empowering students to make change within their communities and educate the next generation. Please welcome Team YIPP. Judges, please click on the persona of investor.
Thank you, Tim, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Are we still hanging in there? Yeah. So, we're YIPP, Youth Impact and Politics Program. That's YIPP the Fox, and he's going to be walking us through our presentation today.
So the problem that we have discovered, Jordan Miller, he's a 16-year-old boy and he lives with his mom and 2 younger brothers. He's involved in multiple different environmental clubs and he wants to make a positive impact in his community, but he doesn't know exactly what steps he has to take to get there. He lacks knowledge in government and he also doesn't know how to get involved. 3% of students express a direct interest in politics, but they don't know how to get themselves involved, just like Jordan. So we hope to build bridges between our youth and political and business leaders.
YIPP provides a bilateral solution to this problem. YIPP directly connects local, state, federal, and even international representatives with students directly through the state schooling system and expands education within those fields through campus panels and outreach from our company on civic events, and also connects the same principles for local businesses. But also opens the opportunities for politicians to hire interns and not have to go through the hassle of paying and hiring an employee. YIPP will also be granting official politicians and business leaders with a YIPP seal that boosts the prestige of their campaign.
My name is Asher Laurie. I am the Marketing and Communications Director here at YIPP. I do all of the general marketing, posting on social media, and reaching out to schools.
I'm Aslan Bastogian. I'm the CEO of YIPP, and I identified this gap between youth impact and politics, and I came up with YIPP to solve it. I oversee overall vision of the business, the strategies and the operations of the program and its expansion.
I'm Cadence Tessier, and I'm the outreach coordinator, and I maintain the already built relationships within the program, and I also grow the number of people who are part of it.
My name is Leah Arendt. I am the Social Relations Manager. I am the primary point of contact for enrolled institutions, and I manage onboarding, incoming opportunities, and ensuring schools involved get the value of our program. We went around and surveyed the attendees of GIV. Would they think this program is beneficial? Would they use it if they had access to it? The overall response was that 32 out of 32 students do believe this program would be beneficial and that youth involvement is important to community growth. In fact, one of our respondents, Matt, said that he actually had a passion for social studies, but his interest faded when he realized there was a general lack of opportunities to get involved.
Our target demographic here at YIPP would both be teens and be older generations that are running school boards, the business leaders, university presidents, and school principals. We would reach out all of our platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram to reach the entire demographic. And we would also be publishing all of those on youth interaction, local government, to make sure that youth can realize their voices can and will be heard, and they can make a difference in the community.
YIPP plans to charge various institutions at varying rates depending on the type of institution and the size of it. This can range from colleges / universities to high schools, and the range of sizes from small to very large.
Like she said, we price the program YIPP on the size of the schools or universities. Like a small high school would be paying $1,300 annually, and a very extra large high school paying $6,200. Same thing goes for the universities and colleges. A small university would be paying $4,800 annually, but an extra large would be paying $25,000 annually.
By year 3, YIPP will be profitable, and we will have $219,000 in total revenue. By years 4 and 5, we hope to expand beyond Vermont, and revenue will hit $748,000, which is a 2.2 times return.
This is where you come in. We are asking for $100,000 for a 5% stake in our company. This values the company at $2 million, which we can see in our 3-year projection. This first $100,000 would be covering our first 5 months of operating costs, and while we sign our first schools, and we're estimating around 15 high schools, 2 colleges, and vetting our first representatives. And we have the plan, we have the network, and we have the outreach. Don't just invest in another program. Invest in Vermont's next civic leaders. Thank you. Questions and comments?
You have to.
I gotta say something. I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. Don't let the treasurer leave the building without asking him for some money. Because this is, and all I want to say, I just want to share this, is you are meeting the moment with this idea. Because I don't need to tell you that, our state treasurer is a wonderful guy. There are people in other places of power right now that we are all struggling with. So thanks for coming up with this idea.
I just had a question on the subscriptions to the high schools and colleges, and then I saw businesses on there too. So what is it that, what's the pitch to them? Why do they want this product in their school or in their business?
Okay, yeah. So I believe that every school can truly benefit from this. Just overall, it makes the schools look better if they're sending their students through this program from their schools to these high places of power. If they're starting businesses that are successful in their areas or wherever they end up going, or if they end up making this huge change in the world, or even if it's just affecting their local area, it boosts the prestige of the school overall, and people are going to want to send their students to that, or parents are going to want to send their child to that school, that institution, so they can get that same level of education.
Great job on the mascot. That strategy seems to be really compelling with a lot of companies. Works really well, like insurance ads, in particular, comes to mind. So yeah, I love the caricature. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I agree, this is a really important platform. There's, particularly in the business world, there's a strong need for advocacy, particularly with kind of new innovation. There's a lot of companies building brand new things the world hasn't seen yet, and there's a lot of questions around what the impact of that's going to be, and making sure that that's completely thought through before we really move too quickly into implementing and rolling out something that's going to have adverse effects in areas that otherwise might have been neglected, right? So, and it's encouraging to see that there's interest and demand, particularly in this younger high school generation of students that are really looking forward to building political careers. And I hope this product is very successful and that it gets in the hands of a lot of the students that are interested in doing that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if you talked about amongst yourselves sort of directing this towards the students themselves versus directing it towards institutions. I'm curious about students who want to get involved being able to access this information themselves and then push it out in that direction, and why. If you talked about that, what that would look like, and why you chose the path.
Yeah, so on our marketing plan, we wanted to push on TikTok, Instagram very heavily to have students bring this to their superintendents and put this giant resource on our website to really show and prove to the superintendents what this program would be doing. So that's the sort of marketing idea that we're going for. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not too hard to keep up to date without using too much like AI to keep everything organized.
Great job, guys. This reminds me, there was a company that we learned about not too long ago that's in Burlington called Tuk2, and they have this really interesting volunteer platform that they're creating, mostly for the benefit of people who need help throughout the community, and they're building a network of volunteers and people who have an hour or two a day to go and fulfill, some sort of volunteer need. So anyway, as you're developing this idea, I would certainly look and see what they're doing. Again, the company's called Tuk2. I'm noticing a really common pattern across marketing to teens, which seems like TikTok. Can you tell me what TikTok is? Does anybody know TikTok? TikTok and Instagram is all over this place. I'm interested, it seems like that's the channel, right, for this demographic, obviously?
Yes, you can share videos, and there's ways to market in many different platforms on there, and a way wider audience than Instagram or Facebook, anything else.
Yeah, and TikTok is mainly targeting teens as well, so teens will be aware of this service, their school will promote it, so it's just a good way to get to our target audience.
Yeah, well, and I saw the old school flyer up there, and whoever did the flyer design, great job on that. That looked like somebody put some work into that. That's really, really nice. Well, eye-catching. And business cards. Wow, you guys handed out business cards. That's pretty old school, right? It's a nice little touch point there. So, nice job considering some other avenues. Word of mouth is going to be the strongest, I think, most powerful way of getting this kind of message out. I think volunteer work networks really excel at sharing, opportunities with one another who are already in that network. But nice job, everyone.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to talk again, so I'm going to say this really quickly. You guys did a great job, but so did every one of you who stood up here today in front of us. And I just want to say it gives me an incredible amount of hope for Vermont's future. So thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, judges are going to go with Hannah and have an opportunity to consult, but on their way out, people ask me, hey Tammy, how do you feel after entrepreneurship? The Entrepreneurship Institute, and I always say, I'm tired, but I'm inspired. Can you see why? Yes. So just a few things we want to make sure we address too, and I know you're doing a lot of sitting and we appreciate that. We have been so lucky to spend all of this time during our institute on Champlain College campus. And we have been treated with such hospitality and such friendliness and such grace. So I would like to invite Dora Williams to come up and speak on behalf of Champlain College.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. I am Dora Williams. I'm a faculty member and assistant dean at Champlain College, and I'm so glad that you're here. All of you, students, families, GIV staff, welcome to this closing ceremony. And I want to start by saying something that I mean genuinely. I know what it took to get to this moment. As a documentary filmmaker and owner of a production company, I know firsthand what it feels like to have an idea you believe in and then have to figure out how to make it real, how to fund it, how to pitch it to people who don't know you yet, and how to build something from scratch when there's no roadmap or no guarantee it's going to work. That experience is humbling, and it never stops being humbling. So what these students did this week, that's that same work. And students, I know that this was the kind of work you did in a compressed timeline. I did hear at one presentation 2 days. Yikes. And in that 1 week or days, you took ideas from your own curiosity and developed them, shaped them, stress tested them. You got feedback, probably some of it was hard to hear, and you kept going. That's not a small thing. And I want the families in this room to really sit with that for a second. Because I think sometimes we underestimate what young people are capable of doing when we actually hand them something real to do. And the GIV instructors and staff, you handed them something real. And Champlain got to be a place where it happened, and I'm proud of that. And here's what I love about the Entrepreneurship Institute specifically. It reflects something that we believe deeply at Champlain, which is that learning works best when it's connected to doing. And our students don't just study their fields, they work in them from day one. We call it experience included, and it runs through every degree we offer. So some students have earned college credit this week through Business 130, creativity and innovation. And that credit is real, the work behind it was real, and it may have felt harder than expected. Good, because that means they were actually learning. Right? So to the students, in a few minutes you're going, you've already shown us what you built, and I'm very, very impressed and inspired as well. And you should be proud, not just of the product, but of the process that you went through to get here. And to the families, thank you for saying yes to this, for making the drives, the drop-offs, the logistics, and for trusting your students to do something challenging without you in the room. That trust matters more than you know. So before I hand the mic back over, I just want to mention that if today has sparked any interest in learning more about Champlain and the Stiller School, we'd love to see you at our summer open house, Friday, August 7th. Come with questions, come with curiosity, that's all we ask. And now I hand it back to you, and thank you so much.
Onto GIV. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Elizabeth, our fearless leader of all GIV, to share a few words. Thank you. I have fear, just to be clear. There's still a lot of fear out there. But I think you do have to be brave to do something that's going to matter in the world, and I think that's what we're trying to instill in young Vermonters. And so thank you to the students for choosing to do something meaningful with this last 7-8 days of your life, and a few of you, about half of you, are doing this for credit, and so there's some follow-up work to do on that, and we're really proud of that that's happening this year as well. I'd like to shout out the staff one more time, because they work so tirelessly to put this together, so one more time for the staff. Especially Tanya Jo Dickinson, who's been hosting today and is doing an amazing job. When I was 15, I actually came to GIV. So I am so proud to be full circle in this role as executive director. To make sure that these opportunities go into the future. On our staff, we have several other GIV alums, including Matthew. And including Jenny Gardner, who's up in the back here, our director of programs. And when I went to the Arts Institute and the Math Institute, but it turns out I could have used this institute because I became a freelance musician, which was my own solo business. I learned how to do that kind of through trial and error and asking a lot of questions and messing a lot of things up and learning from those failures, like someone said earlier. And I feel like, I hope that GIV offers something for any student that you know. So my ask for you today is to think of someone in your life. Obviously, you already know someone who's benefited from GIV if you're in this room, but who else
is out there and might not know about this opportunity. We have the luxury of, or the privilege really, of traveling the state and meeting a lot of folks, some of whom know about GIV and many of whom don't. So just feel very free to talk about what you've seen here today and how you're taking this inspiration back to the community and that these students are too. We want to make sure that every Vermonter knows about this opportunity and knows about the sliding scale tuition to make it affordable. And also, when you see someone like the state treasurer or Representative Sweeney or anyone who's representing your area, please thank them, because we get support from the state to make this possible. It's about 20% of our budget, and it's a really important piece of making sure that this is possible. The rest of the budget comes from your tuition, so thank you. And then we raise about $1 million every year to make sure that the sliding scale can be possible. That comes from foundations, it comes from business support. If you see in your program there's quite a lot of businesses referenced, please thank those folks as well if you know them, and from individuals. So if soon or down the line you're in a position to contribute, please do. This makes a direct impact on Vermont's future, and we're just so very proud to be in our 43rd year. And we want to do another 43 plus. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn it over to Matthew for a moment to introduce what's happening next, and hopefully the judges will have their results very soon. And I wanted to, can I just talk about the prize, or should I talk about it after?
You can talk about the prize.
So we have a really cool prize this year. There's a business actually that got incubated at Hula, the space that Russ Scully, one of our judges, founded, and it's called Mighty, M-Y-T-I. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. Mighty donated $100 gift cards for each member of the winning team. And what their mission is to support local business in Vermont. They want to keep dollars in Vermont. So you can order a product from a Vermont store through their platform and it will get delivered to you. They were just in Chittenden County and now they've expanded statewide. It's a really exciting business, and I think it really speaks to what the values of like supporting our communities and our local businesses. So big thanks to Mighty. Thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So, parents, families, friends, no students, if you haven't yet, please cast your votes. Remember, they're in the order they presented, so if you can go in there and cast your votes. While you're preparing to cast those, I'll give you one last second to grab the QR code if you missed it. And if you kind of forgot, we're trying to pick, and make sure, I know you probably have somebody on some team that you really like, but make sure you support the teams that really stood out to you. Your vote's anonymous, so your student will know. But vote for the students that really stood out and went the extra mile. And we're excited to see which ones win. And again, when the judges come back in, they're going to announce the grand prize, which is really the entrepreneurial award, but we'll also acknowledge the teams who won in each category. And in the meantime, we're going to share this online later. We don't have time to see all of it, but there are a bunch of awesome photos you took and shared this past week. Can I share them while we wait for the judges to come back? Everyone got the QR code? Sweet. Well, the judges will be here in just a second. If you don't mind not leaving, but feel free to stretch, hang out, and students, thank you for an incredible week, and here are a couple moments from a couple days. And while the judges are coming, can I announce the winners of our local contest? So what's really cool is we got 68 votes. So a lot of people contributed. And in every category, straight up, I can show you the results, a team got a vote in at least every category. So in every category, your team, multiple people voted for you in that category. So that means every team did something awesome. And so the margins are pretty thin, but just barely for best slideshow visuals is Q. Best ability to answer questions is CleatSheild. This one was very close. Best problem and solution was also Q. This one was quite unanimous. Best energy was FieldFound. And best transitions, this one was very tight, but narrowly, was also Q. So that means Q is our audience favorite. So the Q members will email you about your prize. Thanks.
So, the judges are back. Are you ready to hear the winning team for today? Oh my goodness. Are you ready to hear the winning team today? All right.
Thank you, Tammy, and again, congratulations to everybody that participated today. We really enjoyed sitting here and judging and hearing about all your ideas. And the things that we were most impressed by is they were able to come up with it in just a few days as well, all of these ideas. And we had a long deliberation process. That were hard to decide on who the winner was, but like the audience, the judges picked Q. Congratulations to Ginger, Lachlan, Rex, and Ella. I think like what we heard from the audience, participation, we really appreciated the market share that you went after. It was a large group of people, the product that you were delivering, the solution you were trying to solve for, the marketability of it, the financial projections that you went through. So really nice job. Really congratulate you on winning today. But again, everybody that participated today did win in your own way and are successful, and congratulations to you, and look forward to all of the businesses that will come about from all of the ideas today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Q and Elizabeth, come on down. Let's get your prizes. And if we can get a few photo opportunities. Matt, you're going to take photos, correct? And they were coached by Tia Natali. Congratulations, your first coach win. Awesome, thank you. So if we could get a picture with Tia and Elizabeth with our team, and then perhaps our judges as well.
Can I do a video first? All right, let's hear it. I'm going to turn around, and if you want to give us a cheer, let's hear it for Q. Okay. Introducing our winning team, Q! Can we have a picture with the judges with the winning team, please?
Thank you so much.
We are so, I just have to say, GIV is so incredibly lucky to have all of the staff, and Matt's been amazing today with helping us pull everything together.
Can
So
I take like a couple steps forward? Yeah! It's looking great, Dan. Here, I'm going to close this for a second.
yes, thank you. I was wondering about that. Perfect.
3, 2, 1.
Q.
Thank you for doing GIV, everyone!
Thank you. And if we could just have a round of applause for the judges, please.